Hello everybody, Zach here. Welcome back to another video in the flesh. Today I'm going to be doing 5 things I like about the 10th generation Honda Civic SI. I intend to do a 5 things I dislike as well as a 5 things you might not know. So you'll see those videos very shortly here. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please don't hesitate to subscribe and like. I intend to do a lot more videos like this year. Alright, number 1, interior comfort. There's a lot of interior comfort for a car in this segment. First of all, the seats are cloth, but they're very comfortable. They have moderate bolstering, which helps keep a person in, but at the same time doesn't make it uncomfortable over long trips or for somebody who's a little on the larger side like myself. You have features like heated side view, mirrors, as well as a heated rear window, and I know those are kind of interior-exterior, but they really do help with the overall comforts in a car like this and what you get at this price range. You also have doors that are larger, but they have good stop points. So that allows you easier access to get in. The seats move all the way forward, so that allows you to get in the rear, which actually has a surprising amount of space for a coupe. I can't speak to the space in the 4-door version of this, but the coupe actually still has and maintains space in the rear, which is a great thing, definitely in a 2-door car. Number 2, exterior looks. Well, this is one of the highly debated topics surrounding this car. In addition to, you know, the powertrain and everything else. But the looks are overall either perfect to you or they're too racer boy. And what I mean is by the aggressive styling. I believe that this is the one where they stopped where they should have. They didn't go over the top. The R, in my opinion, is a little too angular and too over-designed. They didn't know where to stop, kind of thing. And I think this one is the one that's the perfect in-between the base trim and the R, and in terms of overall design. I actually like the rear wing. That's a thing too. A lot of people go, oh, well, I like the SI except for the rear wing. But again, you can take that off. You can modify this car. If you really don't like certain things about it, you can modify it. It's a Honda. There will be 100 parts that you can modify at the end of the day. Well, just got to give them some time. Number 3, tech. There's a lot of tech in this car for a car in this segment. The touchscreen is really good. It's really bright, but it also can dim properly, and the whole system can dim properly based on lighting conditions, which is good because most of these newer LCD, LED screens, they're too bright at night, and even if you dim them, then they become unusable. So this has a good mix of both. You have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, depending on what you plug in, or regular Bluetooth connectivity. Sirius XM, the list goes on, but my point is that they actually put a lot of tech into a car, and steering wheel controls, and everything's usable. Everything has a purpose and works. The other thing too is they didn't build navigation into the head unit in terms of like the Honda navigation, and I think that was a smart move. I think they realized their market for definitely a car like this. But also that stuff is usually out of date before the car even goes to market. So your phone is usually the most up-to-date thing. Our phones only go with us usually a year or two, usually 2 years, and usually everything stays up to date, like Google Maps or Apple Maps. So usability as well as the overall tech that's included in a package like this is really good in my opinion. And number 4, this kind of has to roll along with tech. And this has the potential to split people up, but it's the powertrain. There are 2 camps on this. Those are those that loved the VTEC naturally aspirated Honda engines of past, and then there's also the other side of it, like people that can appreciate the new tech inside of a turbo. So this is a 1.5-liter turbo. It's definitely more focused on the economy side of the turbo. It's a small turbo, like I said too, paired with a 1.5-liter engine. But it does make me think of Mazda, more or less. It makes me think of the Mazda side of like putting small turbos on smaller cars and more on the economy focused. That being said, it's still fun. It's still peppy. I don't have any doubt that it can get up and go when I need it to go. Definitely if you keep it in its power band, and that's the thing. I think people are more used to, ringing out these smaller engines for everything and having to go to the top end. And here the power band is pretty linear and it's in the middle. So in my opinion, I like it. Also, the manual gearbox, it's classic Honda. The actual shifter is perfect. I would say near perfect. And same with the clutch. Some people complain that the clutch engagement point is not what they expect. I, again, like it. I don't think it's too heavy. I don't think it's too light. I don't think it's too electronical. It feels like it engages where it should. And this is coming from, I don't have, 20 plus years of experience with clutches, but I would say for a daily driver, it's set up kind of perfectly to not lose your mind in highway traffic, like bumper to bumper traffic, but also too to be able to be responsive to your shifts. It also, that's the thing too, like I've come from either cable driven clutches and hydraulic clutches, and this one feels really good. So some people, and again, people are going to have certain things that they don't agree with this one, but I think Honda met in the middle on a lot of these things, and that's where there's a lot of people that don't like it because they expect the performance-oriented side, and some people that expect just the cheap side. Well, they kind of did meet in the middle in a lot of these ways. And that goes to the end, number 5, value and longevity. And it kind of takes all the things that I talked about and pushes them into one here. For a car that's less than $25,000 MSRP, and that you'd be able to get for cheaper, as the years goes on, the value here is astronomical. So 10 years ago, let alone 5 years ago, you wouldn't be able to get this much car for this little. And a lot of the car manufacturers that are kind of competing with Honda, Toyota, Hyundai, Kia, they all are bringing way more value to these segments than ever before. So it's not to say that the SI is on its own in this regard. It's just they've gotten so much better. The build quality, and that's one of the things too. People are so quick to dismiss a lot of these market cars because they have the same concept in their head of 10, 15 years ago when all the interiors were so cheap. But that was the same with a lot of American cars too. People, I think, forget, or people, definitely me as I'm young, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember, I have that vividly in my memory because it was attached to so many good moments as a kid. But there's a lot of those interiors are crap. They're just so bad. And I think the same was with a lot of these Asian market cars where we were like, oh, these interiors are so cheap and flimsy, but they were really just Econo boxes, and that was the whole point. And they've just come so far in terms of overall build quality, feeling, fit and finish. The materials used feel really good, even if some of them aren't actually true leather or what have you. They just all feel really good. The touch points are really good. So the value of what you get for what you get what you paid for, but that's in this way. You're getting a lot for what you pay for. So also it has Honda's reliability behind it. So that's just speaks for itself. Consumer Reports has done some things recently where they've said the vehicles that people keep for the longest, Honda and Toyota, by the way, are almost every one of those 10 cars. I believe Ford was in there too for the F Series. And that's it. Like, people that keep these cars for this long, as well as Consumer Reports and somebody else also did a article on vehicles that go for more than 200,000 miles on average. I think it's because they're kept that long and the maintenance is so little overall. And that's a good thing. So, I'm not going to change anybody's opinion here by saying the 5 things I like. I just figured it'd be something interesting to cover. I'm going to do the 5 things I dislike too. So if it's something, people are considering buying, you can see both sides to it. And then I'm going to do for the people that have more potential to own it or just have interest in car technology and some of the quirks and stuff. I'm going to do 5 things you might not know as well. So if you like this video, you want to see more like it, you want to see more car videos and more of this stuff in 2018, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.